The question that was asked was, do you have a favorable or an unfavorable opinion of the following people? And you could see Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name right here at the bottom. But look at this. 16% of people have a very favorable opinion of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., 26% have somewhat favorable, totaling up to 42%. That is huge. Now, if you go ahead and I'll zoom in just a little bit, you can see that that number is the highest one of every single person here. Elon Musk, Scott Bessent, Peter Navarro, Stephen Miller, Christia Noem, like all these people have a much lower favorable rating. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., 42% is incredibly high. But hold your horses before you celebrate a little bit too early. The reason why I said that this is that all this is interesting is if you scroll a little bit here, you can see that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s unfavorable rating is actually really, really high. This is at 47%, right? And that means 30. That's a total of 35% of people view him as very unfavorable, and 12% view him as somewhat unfavorable, totaling up to 47%. And only 12% of people don't know him. That is actually significantly low compared to all these other people. Right? Look at this: 54, 57, 59, 50, but only 12% of people don't know Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, as someone who was who saw his entire campaign happen from a distance, like there was a moment when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. had somewhat of a branding problem where so many people didn't actually know who he was. The name recognition just wasn't there. He had trouble getting onto mainstream networks, and it was just almost impossible to imagine so many people knowing him. So right now, that is not his problem at all. Only 12% of people don't know him. But even then, his unfavorable rating is still incredibly high. And one of my takeaways here that I think is really important is, aside from President Trump and Elon Musk, who is at 55%, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is actually one of the more divisive figures in modern politics right now. That is incredibly surprising because I know how much Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wants to be part of this unity. That's so much of what his campaign was pushing for. And to see him now be at almost like the epicenter of divisiveness is just, it's a real challenge. Robert K. Jr. is a highly polarizing figure right now. It's almost an even split